No, it's mother blank, mother blank, mother blank, mother blank, noise, noise, noise. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4, noise, noise, noise.
Oh, hey.
Hi, I'm Devin Jones.
Hi, I'm Devin Jones.
That's what I sound like. Shut up.
His voice is changing.
Hi, I'm
Devin Jones, baby. And I am Craig Jones. We are a father-son review team, and I took this boy because he really wanted to go. We went and saw Jay and Silent Bob reboot. We saw it a few weeks ago, but we've been really busy. We went to one of those premieres, and it was really cool to have Kevin and Jay talk. What? No, that's not his name. What's his name? Jason. Kevin and Jason talked to us, talked to everybody before he had a special message for everyone. That was cool. I like that. This kid is 13. He's just at the point where I've started to let him sort of watch adult fare, and
I loved the first one.
He did. I did let him watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back because to me that's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
The movie's so good.
So
if you haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, you need to watch it.
Yeah,
Unless you're like 7.
I don't know if it'd be funny for everyone, but if you like the characters of Jay and Silent Bob, that movie is perfect.
Yeah, if you like Jay and Silent Bob and you like Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and I do before we get started, I am a Kevin Smith fan.
Yeah.
All right, so we saw Jay and Silent Bob reboot because he was begging me to go see it.
I think I've only seen 2 of his movies.
He was begging me to go see that movie, and to me it didn't look very good in the previews. I didn't want to go, but he really wanted to go. So
I thought it looked not awesome, but I still wanted to see it because it's Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, okay, let me talk to the parents. Parents, we don't even need a parents guide for this. Do not take your children to see a Jay and Silent Bob movie. If there's a movie that has Jay and Silent Bob in it, don't take them to see the movie, okay?
Most Kevin Smith movies aren't for children.
Yeah, there's only a few that you could sort of pass, having kids in. But this thing is, they're just very foul-mouthed characters.
Yeah, the things that Jay says,
it's very just dirty. This is not a movie for children.
Yeah.
Do not take your children to see this movie. He's even too young to see this movie, but I messed up as a parent and let him see it, so that's just kind of the way it is. But and we forgive us. This isn't our normal studio space that's being used, so we're actually in the recording studio today. So hey, let's go ahead and set up a light. And sorry, you're not getting the normal quality, but we're working on a soundtrack to his first film. He's directing a short, so it's going to be good. But anyway, so their parents, don't take your kids to see the movie. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start first. I normally let you start, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about the movie, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Like I said, I got to preface this with the fact that I am a big Kevin Smith fan. I always have been. I defend a lot of his movies. There's only 2 movies of his I don't like. One is with the Bratzis in it. What's it?
Yoga Hosers.
Yoga Hosers.
Yeah.
But I love those 2 characters though. Yoga Hosers, it's hit or miss for me. As a whole, I don't like the movie, and I hate to say that this is the other one, the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I was not enjoying this movie, man. It wasn't funny to me. And I love Kevin Smith, so I wanted to like this movie so much. But let me say this, though. We were sitting in a theater packed with View Askew people, fans.
It was awesome.
Fans of the View Askewniverse, and they were falling over themselves laughing at this movie. So keep that in mind when you hear me sort of trash it a little bit. I think there is an audience that will love this movie, okay?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool because we got there early, so we were sitting there waiting for the movie to open up. And a bunch of people, we had no clue who were. We were just talking and laughing about a bunch of stuff, talking about Clerks and talking about Jay and Silent Bob and everything. And it was just awesome.
Yeah, he's like, dude, these people are just talking to us. I was like, yeah, it's like a family,
It was cool. That was my first, family, random people encounter.
Right, at a movie where people, strangers, just start talking to each other about, the View Askewniverse.
I was thinking it was kind of cool that such foul-mouthed, awesome, just foul-mouthed and silent people could just bring everybody together.
Yeah, it's Smith, man. He's just made some really great movies. Like Chasing Amy's one of my favorite movies. He's just a good writer, great director.
I know, but before I even really saw any of Kevin Smith's movies, I would just see little snippets of his YouTube channel and stuff. And I've always liked Kevin Smith. Everything I saw him in, I was just like, yeah.
He's a likable guy.
He is.
He's very likable.
He's just a cool dude. And now that I'm old enough to watch a couple of his movies,
there's some other ones.
good.
There's some other ones you could watch. We'll watch them. But let me get back to the movie, though. The reason I didn't like it is that it just wasn't making me laugh. A lot of it was kind of like, hey, remember this joke? Remember this character? Ooh, hey, remember this? And you're just like, yeah, but there's nothing new going on. It was just kind of like, here's the greatest hits of all. Now, he hasn't seen all these movies, so maybe it was a little more fresh for you. But some of the stuff was like, I know I laughed at this 20 years ago. It's nostalgic, but I'm not really feeling it. And it was very choppy. The narrative was really choppy. It's like stuff would just happen, and I didn't know why it happened. It was just like stuff was just... As a narrative, it didn't flow. Like, if you watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, everything in that movie, it's episodical, but everything flows into the next scene. It's very genius the way it does that. This movie, it's just like, okay, oh, the Klan is here now. Oh, Method Man's here now. Oh, it's just like the stuff just keeps popping up, and it doesn't really flow as a narrative. It's more like, hey, guys, we're making a movie. That's kind of how it feels. It doesn't feel like there's a cohesive story there.
A bunch of random stuff happens. It just comes up, like, some of it out of nowhere, like that Method Man scene, like, it's just out of nowhere. And
it's
then
funny, but that scene's funny.
All of them, you like chuckle at it, and you're like, that's funny. But then the scene has nothing, doesn't like add to the movie at all. It's just there to be like, like the Klan scene. It's like,
the Klan is just, oh, they're here now.
Yeah.
It's like it just didn't really, and I heard that Smith cut a whole lot out of the movie. Maybe he shouldn't have cut as much because it feels very choppy in its pacing.
Maybe he'll release like a extended cut.
I'm gonna say this though. There's a scene that I think is just pitch perfect, and it's the scene. I'm not giving anything away. Affleck is in it. Ben Affleck. His whole scene is perfect, man. It's just awesome. It's beautiful. Yeah. And if you know the history between those guys, it kind of helps too. That you just feel like, oh, they're friends again. You feel that, and it's. And then there's, like, these type of the Jay and Silent Bob, it's like, okay, bring in all the View Askew people, all the characters, and even in that Affleck that Affleck segment, there's a character that pops up. I'm like, whoa, that's awesome, So it's kind of like, I like that he brought all these people back. I just wish he would have used them a little differently. I do think that in that Affleck sequence, though, the obscure character that he brings back in to the View Askew universe through that scene, it's actually done really well. I actually really like it. Yeah. There's just not enough. I didn't laugh enough. I didn't like the movie, but I do love, before the View Askew fans tear me a new one, I do love Kevin Smith. I love his stand-up. I know he doesn't call it stand-up. He calls it Q&A when he stands on stage and talks for 3 hours, but it is great stand. He's one of the best stand-up comedians I've ever seen. He can tell a story. It's just that here, I don't think he was trying to tell a story. I think he was just trying to say, here, fans, here, look, here's this stuff. Here's all the stuff that you guys have laughed at for years, and here it is. We're all having a good... I think they had a great time making the movie. The movie reminded me of Blues Brothers 2000, where you can tell the people that are making it are having a good time, but me watching it, I wasn't having a good time. So my rating, I'm just going to call it a misfire. And I hate to say that for a Kevin Smith film, because I do love Kevin Smith, but I just was not feeling this movie. But I still love him, and I still want him to make more movies. So there you
go. All right. Well,
your turn.
This was a long video. So, this movie. So the first movie was awesome. It's hilarious, and then this movie.
Strike Back. You gotta make sure
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was awesome. It was hilarious. Every joke worked. It was just awesome. And with this one, it's not as good as it could have been. Like, that's my issue with it. It's just not.
What's your rating, though?
I'd rate this worth the popcorn. Because I love Jay and Silent Bob. So it's hard for me to not like this movie. But, like, then again, I'm 13, and a lot of this is, like, hee humor, so like it works.
Yeah, it works for 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
lowbrow humor there, but
it's just both really good and really bad at the same time. Just cause it's really good, cause it's funny at not all the jokes work, but some of it's funny. There's some characters that they bring back, and I'm like, funny. It's just,
right.
It's enjoyable, I think.
I can understand how you would feel.
It's not a very good movie compared to like the original, but
right.
I still enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, and it's like I don't want people to think I'm crapping on Smith, because I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his. I've always been a fan of his work. I think he's great. He's like, I think he should get that Mark Twain Award for humor, because he is just one of the funniest cats there is working, man. He's funny.
Yeah.
Just this was a time where I just really didn't like this movie, but like I said, there was a packed house full of people that had, because we paid $1 bazillion to get tickets to this damn thing.
It's like 17 or something. Right?
That's $1 bazillion when you're a working dad and you're single, and but there were all these people in there to see the movie, and most of them seem to be, from what I could hear, really loving the movie. Yeah. So if you're a big fan of the View Askewniverse, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Yeah. All those View Askew films, and you love Jay and Silent Bob, and you think Kevin Smith can do no wrong, I think you're gonna really love this movie, and I think you should go see it. I want this movie to make money, even though I don't like it, because I want him to continue to make more movies, because I like him. If you're not a fan of the Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back and the View Askew movies, you're not gonna like this movie at all.
No.
You're just gonna think it's dumb. You're not even gonna understand why That's the thing. It doesn't. I think no. You know what? Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is funny to people that don't know anything about Jay and Silent Bob. This movie, I don't think it would be funny to people that don't know about Jay and Silent Bob and those other movies.
Yeah, because it's a very, like, haha, nostalgic throwback.
Yeah, it's too much of that and not enough of a movie in itself. Whereas I know people that, like your mother, I was watching Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back when we were together years and years before you were born, and she doesn't know who Jay and Silent Bob were, but she was laughing. She was laughing. She was doing stuff, but whenever she, hear them, she started laughing because it was funny. This, not so much, So, again, I love Kevin Smith. I love his films. I just didn't love this one, but I think he's got more good movies in him, and I hope he, continues to make films.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say about it?
Cue the music.
Cue the music.
Matt. Matt.